What's happening, y'all? It's your boy Rico bringing y'all another film breakdown edition of Street Scores. Second installment. I'm excited. This is our first 7th round draft pick of 2018. Greg Stroman, cornerback out of Virginia Tech. In his senior year, he had 20 tackles, 4 interceptions, 11 pass breakups. And as a returner, he had 35 returns, 397 yards, and 2 touchdowns on punt returns. Now let's get into the film session. Alright, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Indy for Life for posting this film breakdown. This is the only film I can get of Greg Stroman in 2017, besides just a bunch of highlight tapes. And y'all saw how that worked out last video. So this is going to be a slight improvement from last video because I actually have real film to break down. It's only one game of film. I'm also going to be breaking down a highlight tape. I'm not just going to do y'all like that. But shouts out to Indy for Life for posting this one video. Wish we had more. The other prospects have plenty. But also, shouts out to my boy Big Steph 93 for posting HTTR as the only comment on the video. We need more people like Big Steph. Make the world a better place, one person at a time, one comment at a time. Shouts out to you. Now let's get to this film breakdown. This here is a great example of his sticky coverage. He is lined up at the bottom of the screen. Shouts out to whoever made this video for pointing that out for us, making it easier with this zoomed out angle. As you can see, he's with the receiver every step of the way throughout the entire play. He leaves the screen for a second, but as the screen focuses back on him and the receiver, you see him glued to the receiver. That's that sticky coverage that we love that Stroman provides. But also, a main point of emphasis, which a lot of cornerbacks do not have, is his ability to get his head turned around. Right here, as the wide receiver started to look up to the ball, Greg Stroman knew that was a signal that the ball was near, so he got his head up, which allows him to make a play on the ball. Now, even though he didn't make a play on the ball, getting his head turned around is a very underrated quality for a cornerback to have, and I'm very happy to see that he has those instincts. That's what separates great corners from average corners. There we go with the sticky coverage, getting hands on the receiver. Didn't jam him much, but it must have done a little bit. Got him off his route a little bit. Sticky coverage, head turn around, and the ball is just well placed to not allow Greg Stroman to really make a play on it. As you can see, he is all draped up on the receiver with his head turned around at a certain point, so the ref will not make a call, which is great for Greg Stroman. But you can also see how undersized he is on this play, in that the receiver is way bigger than him, and with a more accurate ball or a better route ran, this is a completion no matter how sticky Greg Stroman's coverage is. So the positive from here is that Greg Stroman's coverage is sticky. He's able to turn his head around when the ball is in the air, but big receivers, especially in the NFL, may be able to abuse his lack of size and win jump balls against them pretty consistently. But we'll have to see how that goes in the NFL. Here is another example of sticky coverage. He is lined up across the receiver, clearly in man coverage. He has safety help though, so it allows him to be more aggressive. He is with them step for step. And even after the play is breaking down, he is still on the receiver. Let me slow this down. You can see an example of good hips right here. As the receiver pretends to go inside out, Greg Stroman is also doing the same thing with his feet to mirror the receiver's movements, and he stays with them the whole way. Active hands to make sure he is not brushed off by the receiver. And here the play breaks down, and this is where DBs are normally left behind, but Greg Stroman is right there to make the play. And not only was he there to make the play, but he also made a serious effort to bat the ball down, even though the ball was already placed terribly for the receiver anyway. The receiver was not going to be able to catch that, but our boy Greg Stroman was not taking any chances and dove to bat that ball down just to make sure of it. I like that, Greg Stroman. Sticky coverage, good hips, and an attempt to make a play on the ball at all times. Now this play is a very weird one. First of all, my dog just climbed in my lap. But secondly, here's an example of sticky coverage, but it's not great sticky coverage. And I'll show the play just to show you how. He's with them step for step, but with a better placed ball, Greg Stroman would have been beat here. Now he's with the receiver step for step, but I would have preferred for him to make a play on the inside as the ball got in the air. Now he was probably coached to not allow the receiver to get deeper than him and past him since there was no safety help. He was on an island. As soon as the play starts, you can clearly see that Greg Stroman is on an island. The quarterback recognizes it and throws the ball, but the ball is a little misplaced. If the ball was better or the receiver had probably ran a better route, this would have been a huge gain. So Greg Stroman is there with some semi-sticky coverage, but I prefer him to go ahead and make a play to the inside. But you never know. Maybe he had the awareness to know that the ball was going to be underthrown or thrown too far to the right. But I'm not giving him that benefit of the doubt. I like the fact that he's there step for step with the receiver, but this easily could have been a big game. But you never know. The defensive coordinator or DB coach could have also told him, don't give up the lid of the defense no matter what. Even if you have to allow a big completion, just do not allow him to break for a touchdown. I don't know. Either way it goes, I don't like it. Alright, now I want to show y'all a great example of his off-man coverage skills. See how far away he is from the receiver? A good 10 yards. But this play, he shows great recovery speed and IQ to make a play on the ball. Just watch. Great play on the ball. I see you, Stroman. Taking it back. Time to break it down. He's looking at the receiver to see what route he might run. Sees the receiver turn around. Gets his eyes to the quarterback. Makes a great break on the ball. Nice little recovery speed too. You can see him mirroring the receiver's hips, and as he sees the receivers turning around to look at the quarterback, Greg Stroman then looks at the quarterback to see where the ball may be going, and then makes a great play on the ball. Good aggressive interception. And who does this remind you of? Kendall Fuller, right? Love it. Kendall Fuller made a very similar play last year, and I love the fact that Stroman resembles the skill set that Kendall Fuller brought to us last year. I also love how he went and got that ball. Look at that, look at that. He went and snatched it. He said, you don't want it as badly as I do. This may not be the most analytical part of the film session, but I love his athleticism to be able to go and make the play, but also his aggression to go and take the ball and spin so the receiver has no chance of contesting it. He wanted that interception. That was his. The man went up and said, give me this ball. Now I want to show y'all two examples of how he is very good at reading the quarterback's eyes, similar to the last play I just showed y'all. But these two are prime examples of how elite he is at reading the quarterback's eyes. It's a little Josh Norman-ish. Watch how he just feels the receiver's route, but keeps his eyes on the quarterback the entire time and makes a play on the ball. Very, very Josh Norman-ish. Not a lot of cornerbacks have that, even in the NFL. So that's an elite special trait that Greg Stroman also has in his utility belt. I love Greg Stroman's IQ. Watch how he just feels the receiver's route, doesn't even look at him, has his eyes on the quarterback the entire time, and as soon as the quarterback throws the ball, Greg Stroman already knows he has an interception. That was easy money for him. He wasn't worried about the route that receiver was running. He knew he could stay with him the whole way without even looking at him. And all he had to do was look at the quarterback and then go up and get the interception. It's that simple. Love it. Not a lot of corners can do that. That is probably Josh Norman's best trait, which makes him a great cornerback and why he's getting paid so much from us. Now here's my second example of him being able to read the quarterback's eyes. As clearly indicated, he is near the right of the screen. He's sitting here watching the quarterback the entire time. He's clearly in zone coverage. He's reading the quarterback's eyes, not necessarily covering any particular receiver. Literally, he's just following the quarterback's eyes. And he goes up and gets the interception. And then he also adds some flair, making people miss, showing off a little bit of his return skills. But let me take this back, because he is watching the quarterback this entire play. He is given zone coverage duties. He is just going to sit and watch the quarterback, anticipate where he may throw it, and then go up and make the play. Quarterback had no idea he was there, and Greg Stroman read it the entire play. As soon as the quarterback rolls out over here on the bootleg, Greg Stroman backpedals and gets right in the window, blind spotted the quarterback, and makes the interception. Love it. So not only does he show good man coverage skills, off man coverage skills, but he also shows great zone abilities. So we can use them whichever way we need to. Now here's an example of how he can be effective against big receivers in jump ball moments. But first of all, I just gotta show y'all how Virginia Tech thinks this is a run play and Greg Stroman is forced to hurry up and run to the outside before the play even starts. So that's amazing in itself. Until the very last second right before the ball is hiked and he has to go out there and cover a big receiver on a fade route to the corner. Or if it's not even that, if Virginia Tech knew that Pitt was going to throw the ball and they disguised their defense to show run stop, but they actually planned on Greg Stroman going out there and covering the receiver in the first place, and they had the confidence in Greg Stroman to line up against the run, and then at the last second, right before the ball is hiked, go cover the receiver, is amazing in itself. That speaks highly on Greg Stroman's abilities for the defensive coordinator and defensive backs coach to have enough confidence in him to even draw this play up on 3rd and goal, up 6 with 10 seconds left in the game. But now for the main reason we're here. Look at his ability to have sticky coverage and then be feisty and aggressive when the ball is near the receiver, so it's not a pass interference, and he does not allow that receiver to come down with the ball. And he doesn't get handsy until the ball is there, which means he's making a play on it, and that is not a pass interference. The refs will not call that. That is a great defensive back play, great pass breakup. It shows that he can make plays on big receivers. And also what I really love is that it's the 4th quarter, 3rd and goal, 3 seconds left. If he allows this touchdown while they're up by 6, they pretty much are guaranteed to lose the game. Greg Stroman was trusted by the entire defensive staff, well, the whole Virginia Tech college, to go up and make this play and get them to win. And he saves the game. Y'all should hear how crazy the crowd is going. But look at him. Last second, sticky coverage. Has the receiver where he wants him. Goes up and makes the play. Very clutch play with 3 seconds left to go. And they actually ended up winning the game on the following play. Greg Stroman didn't have anything to deal with it, but he made the game-saving play right here and broke up the pass. Now, even though he made the play here, we do have to take it with a grain of salt because it is Pitt, it is college, and NFL receivers will be better at winning jump balls, and NFL quarterbacks will be better with ball placement. But shouts out to Greg Stroman for getting the job done anyway. He shows qualities to be able to break up passes against big receivers, but we'll have to see how it translates to the NFL. But to step out of analytical mind for a second, I just love how clutch this play is, for real. He said, let me go hurry up and cover this man. I'm going to go up, have the pass break up, and I'm going to win this game for us. Put the team on my back. What do I have to do? Lock up this receiver? Oh, I got it. Lock him up. Now, I don't even know how to categorize this play. High IQ, well experienced, athletic, Stroman for president, Redskins get another huge draft still. I mean, I have no idea how to categorize this because it's a mix of so many traits that shows why Stroman can be a very impactful player in the NFL. Stroman is lined up on the outside, fullback or whatever that is rolls out. He's keeping his eyes on the quarterback, feels for the receiver, and goes and makes the interception and also gets the touchdown. This play perfectly encompasses how Stroman takes many of his great traits and combines them into a great play that not many NFL players can make. This is a combination of high IQ, feeling for the receiver, reading the quarterback's eyes, making a play on the ball, catching the ball, and returning it for the touchdown, even though it was only about 15 yards out. But let me break it down. Stroman is in zone coverage. He is responsible for the flat more than likely. First, he's looking out for the play. He steps back into his assignment just in case a receiver may go there. But then he recognizes that the ball may go to whoever this is, fullback or running back, number 31. So he steps up in case he has to make a quick tackle. Then he notices, without even actually really looking at him, his head is turned towards the quarterback the entire time, mostly. I don't see when Stroman looks at him. He must see what the quarterback is about to do. He knows the quarterback intends on throwing and then starts to mirror the receiver in coverage. Or number 31. Stays with them almost step for step while also keeping his eyes on the quarterback. Because if he took his eyes off the quarterback and looked at the receiver, he would have had his head turned around and not been able to make this play on the ball. I mean, this is a remarkable play. This is probably my favorite Greg Stroman play. There's so much going on. I mean, the fact that he has his eyes on the quarterback the whole time and does not allow his responsibility to ever get open is just crazy to me. That's just that Josh Norman factor. that not a lot of corners have. Kendall Fuller also had it last year, which made him great. Again, he is able to cover the receiver without even looking at him. And you can see him thinking about the play. Let me get back to my assignment. Oh wait, let me move up just in case it's a quick screenplay and I need to make the tackle. Oh wait, the quarterback just signaled the wide receiver to run for a route. Let me quickly flip my hips, pedal backwards, mirror the receiver, and then keep my eyes on the quarterback the entire time and make a play on the ball. Great play, Stroman. Love it. Now, this would not be a grown man, real analytical film breakdown without me breaking down at least one weakness. Even though I already spoke about him being undersized and it may get abused in the NFL, this is his biggest weakness. It is tackling. This is exactly why he was not a day 2 player and slid all the way to the 7th round, even though he is so great at coverage and all of the other positives he brings, including returning. Okay, you right here. You see the quarterback still has the ball. Not the most athletic quarterback. Remember, this is Pitt. You have a great angle, unblocked. This should be easy. Boy. Oh boy, what happened here? Let's take it back. I mean, this tackling was atrocious. Was it a lack of athleticism, bad angle, a mix of both? I'm putting it in slow motion for y'all. I mean, he read the play. He was one of the first to recognize that the running back was not actually given the ball. Some people were still going up. You can see Greg Stroman is one of the first to actually start going right. You see him make the break. So his IQ is on display. He is unblocked. What happened? The quarterback didn't even put on a special move or nothing. There was no real shimmy. He just kind of faked to the right a little bit and gave him a weak little stiff arm. And Greg Stroman goes flying. This is unacceptable in the NFL. That is terrible. That is easily abusable by NFL coaches. I can draw up a play to abuse that. So his tackling is definitely going to be his biggest weakness and what's going to hold him back from having a real impact as a player on the field at all, let alone a starter. He's definitely not going to make a roster spot on special teams coverage. It will purely have to be returner. Because this tackling here, oh boy, oh boy, what was that? That quarterback don't even look like he's going fast. He looks like he's going in slow motion. Greg Stroman just simply couldn't make the tackle. Arm tackle, bad technique, lack of athleticism, bad angle, just all of it in one. I mean, he was one of the first, like I said, to recognize the ball was not handed to the running back, and yet he was not able to make the tackle. And what could have been a loss of 2 ended up being a gain of 2, which can be huge in the NFL, because if he's trying to tackle somebody like, we have to defend against Saquon Barkley twice a year, Ezekiel Elliott twice a year, in the Philly running back core twice a year. And this tackling right here is going to get abused. Coaches are going to literally draw up plays to run towards where Greg Stroman is because they will assume that it will be an easy break tackle or miss tackle completely, which will allow them to maximize their yardage or even possibly break off for a touchdown. So this is a big no-no, Greg Stroman. We have to work on this. Torian Gray, please coach this man up. Now, I just can't leave the film session on a bad note. I will not do my boy Greg Stroman like that. Here is a great example of his return skills. I'm just going to let the play speak for itself. Pretty decent blocking. 2 people open. Make them miss. Make several more people miss. Find the crease. Make the kicker miss, and now the speed is too much for anybody to catch him. But the thing that really gets me is that nobody ever laid a hand on him. No hand there, no hand there, got close, no hand there. Right here, great chance to make a play, not even a finger on him. Greg Stroman went completely untouched that entire return. I'm not sure about y'all, but that is amazing to me. The fact that he went completely untouched the entire play. Now let me slow it down. I mean, he made both these guys. They should have had him trapped. This special team coverage player should be ashamed. This guy had his responsibility down, made Greg Stroman go this way. This guy should have had him trapped. He escaped the blockers, but Greg Stroman's speed was probably too much for him. He probably underestimated it. This guy did a terrible dive, also underestimated Greg Stroman's speed. And the punter has a decent angle on him. Greg Stroman just kicks it in another gear, and the kicker doesn't even get a finger on him. And now look at him be way faster than everybody on the other team. They just gave up at a certain point. Poor North Carolina. They already knew they couldn't catch him. So you see the return potential with him. I don't like how he bobbles the ball right here, but he secures the catch, which the Redskins had problems with doing last year. Makes the first two people miss. Finds the hole his blockers created for him. And then uses his speed to make the play. And the poor kicker had no chance right here. I mean, it's just... hoo-wee, bud. Hoo-wee. Look how mad he is. He gone. And now for the positives and negatives. Positives. Confident, sticky, aggressive corner, high IQ, good hands, great quarterback reader. That is a very elite, special, rare trait. So shouts out to him for that one. Can feel for a receiver without even looking at him. He has experience with covering in the slot and the outside, even though he prefers the outside. Even though he's undersized, he's physical enough to break up passes thrown to big receivers. He also has the very important trait of getting head turned around so he can make a play on the ball, which allows him to bat balls down, get interceptions, and avoid pass interference calls. Has great recovery speed, even though he didn't run a great 40 time at the combine with a 4.48 official time. Also, he's a great explosive returner for kickoffs and punts. Shifty with great burst, with great return numbers at Virginia Tech. These new special teams rules will change how returns play out, which will be interesting to see. But he has a lot of the tools to make big plays in the return game no matter what the rules and regulations are. Now the negatives. He's undersized, so even though he was able to deal with big receivers in college, the NFL's best receivers might be able to win jump balls against him like Paul Richardson did recently in OTAs. It takes great ball placement from the quarterback and great jump ball skills from the wideout. But in the NFL, this isn't a rare combination, so we'll have to see if he can handle these jump balls in the NFL. That is a to be determined trait right there. Also, his aggression may get him in trouble when NFL quarterbacks get him to bite with eye manipulation, which is similar to what happens to Josh Norman sometimes. And if you're picky enough, Greg Stroman hasn't necessarily covered the most talented receivers playing in the ACC, even though he has covered well in OTAs so far. But we'll see. And now my projection. I expect him to make the roster and add some solid cornerback depth. He has some distance to go in order to become a starter or even an impact depth player. But his ticket to the roster is definitely his consistent cornerback play, versatility to play both slot and outside corner, and most importantly, his return potential. He is a big return waiting to happen, and as long as he can safely secure kicks and punts, then that's already an upgrade from last year. He will be competing against Trey Quinn, who is our other 7th round pick who I previously did a draft breakdown on. And he will also be competing against current return starter Jamison Crowder. So we'll see how this works out through OTAs and training camp. But my best bet is that Greg Stroman will be our best returner for punts and kickoffs. I like his big play potential and his ability to secure the ball. But that's it for this film breakdown. Thank y'all very much for watching it. I had fun breaking down his film. I'm very excited to see what he will become for us in training camp and in future NFL seasons. I'm sorry that it took so long for me to make this video. I went to my brother's graduation in Florida for a week, so I was not able to work on this film session while I was gone. But I made sure as soon as I got back, I was able to break down this film, edit it, and get it out for y'all. I've seen some recommendations and some requests in the comments, and I'll definitely be getting to those after I break down the Redskins draft picks. So stay tuned. I got y'all back. Make sure y'all Dolomite fake punch that like button. Favorite, subscribe. I'll subscribe back. And again, I'll catch y'all later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. The last video did a lot of views. I didn't expect it to do that many. So thank y'all for doing what y'all do. Shouts out to the new subscribers. Big shouts out to the subscribers that's already been there, that's been there since the beginning. Appreciate y'all. I'm out.